Hi there, board gamers. It's Michael Windsor from Meeple of Windsor, and I'm here to tell you about a board game that I really like known as Spartacus, a game of blood and treachery. Basically, this game is based on the newer television series of Spartacus, which is a family-friendly show with nudity and cool fights and lots of blood. Okay, maybe not for the kids, but it's a family-friendly show if your family's all adults. Once again, the gods spread the cheeks. I'm talking about that Spartacus. This guy, he's the guy with a finger in every pie. So this is, Glabber. Nailed it. Nice wife, Glabber. This is Brendan Fraser's brother-in-law in the Mummy movies and Xena Warrior Princess. This is the guy from the show that laughs maniacally while peeing on another guy. Namely, Brendan Fraser's brother-in-law in the Mummy movies who's married to Xena Warrior Princess there. Let's say you're being Mr. I will pee on your face and laugh maniacally. You can start the game at different levels. The regular game recommends you start the game at 4. So since he's got the pile of bull right there, you're gonna give him the pile of bull square. And this is your influence tracker. The objective of the game is to bring the square all the way to 12. All right, let's make with the phases like we're a shadow cat. So there's 4 phases. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the upkeep. That's when you do boring stuff. You have the intrigue phase. That's when you draw cards and do interesting stuff. The market phase. That's when you like buy and sell slaves basically. And then you have the arena, and that's when you have a cool gladiator fight and you gamble on it. Those are the phases. All right, this is what you're gonna have to start with. Everybody's gonna get a figurine. I like this one that looks like a deep sea diver. I call him Holy Diver in tribute to Dio. There are these 3 gambling tokens. And then we have our starting assets over here. So this guy has 2 gladiators to start with. He has this guy with a little doo-doo smudge on his face, and that guy who looks like that guy from Firefly. And then we have our starting slaves. So we have this guy who's always looking slightly to the left. We have this guy who looks like Jon Snow's dad from that one show. And then I'm gonna go with Krusty Tom Cruise. I don't want Krusty Tom Cruise here. Give me something better. Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that one. There we go. Yeah, I like that. All right. And then we also have 1 guard. We're guards. Yes, we're guards. Here, because he has 1 guard. And then 9 gold to start with. So these are our starting assets. Don't forget Holy Diver. I have a sword. All right, so let's go over phase 1, upkeep phase. So first what we're gonna do, let's say we use this guy's ability right here and had to exhaust 3 slaves to get new cards. We are basically going to unexhaust all of our face down cards. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say this guy with doo-doo on his head. He's injured, so we're gonna roll to see if he's safe. So if it's 4th, 5, or 6, he's no longer injured. If it's 2 or 3, he's just still injured. And if you get a 1, that guy with doo-doo on his head, he dead. So that is the next thing you do. And lastly, you're gonna balance ledgers. Now this is pretty simple. You're basically going to gain 1 gold for each slave you have with, and lose 1 gold for each gladiator you start with. So in this case, I would gain 1 more gold. Now, let's say you have no money to pay for these gladiators. You have to dismiss 1 for every 1 you can't pay for. Oh, and by the way, your coins actually go in your treasury. Whoops.
I have a blade, and my blade is better than your blade. Have you ever had a good blade before? No, I've seen all the Blade movies, and they were Well, they were cool, but not this cool.
Well, here's the next phase. This is the exciting part of the game. Phase 2, Intrigue Phase. So everybody's going to draw 3 cards from this deck, and they're going to add that to their hand. Now let's say I already had 3 cards already. Before the turn ends, I'm going to want to play down to my hand size. So however many influence I happen to have is my maximum hand size. I can only have 4 cards at the end of my turn currently. So you can use special abilities. So let's say this guy has this skilled ability, and it says Intrigue to let you know it can be used during the Intrigue phase. You can actually exhaust him to gain 1 gold, or you can use these abilities as well. But mostly what you're going to do is take turns playing cards. Now, these cards do different things. You have your reaction cards, you have scheme cards, and you have guards. Guards you can just simply play on the table, and I'll explain what they do in a second. Now, you can choose to discard these cards and get their money value. So I could discard this and get 3 coins. Or I can simply just play a scheme card, so I can use this, play it, and then take 3 coins from a target Dominus. Dominus is basically another player. Or I can gain 5 gold. However, I'm going to have a certain amount of influence. Only right now I have 4, so I can't actually play this yet. However, I can cooperate with another Dominus over here who has 5 influence. 4 plus 5 is 9, which is 7 or more. So I could offer that Dominus 2 coins if I gain 3 coins from this card. So you can barter with people too. And then you have these scheme cards that you can play during given moments. So this can be used during the 4th phase. And there's also foiling schemes, which basically just undoes an effect of a card. So if, say, someone plays this labor contract, you can say, no, that doesn't happen. You also have guards.
We're guards, yes, we're guards.
And guards are basically like your line of defense. So let's say a scheme is targeting you specifically. You can roll a dice. If you get 3 or less, it's a failure, but if you get 4 or more, you get rid of the effect of that card, but you also have to discard a card in the process.
This is my blade. I call it killing you.
Alright, so let's go to the marketing phase. This market phase is the 3rd phase of the game, and it's pretty exciting. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to trade assets in the beginning. So let's say you're like, I really need money. I can either, sell these for 2, or someone really needs a guard, so they'll, buy your card for 3 coins. It's basically a trading phase.
Man, I don't want this war spoon. What am I gonna do with the war spoon? Get rid of this. Oh, well, at least I got 3 coins.
Now I really love the mechanics behind this phase. It's really well done. Now basically, let's say you have a 4-player game. You're gonna have an equal number of cards. So we're gonna have 4 market cards. And then we're gonna reveal them in order. So basically how it works is players are going to basically do kind of like an auction, but it's a lot more simple than an actual auction. You're basically going to hold your hands out, and then you're going to reveal a certain number of money that you've taken out of your own treasury. So this person bet 6 and this person bet 3. So the person discards their 6 and takes this cool helmet. I mean, why wouldn't you want a cool helmet?
Hey suckers, did you get a cool helmet? I believe not. I got a cool helmet. Check it out. Cool helmet.
And that person still keeps their 3 coins though. And then you go to the next one, and someone's like, "Oh, pretty lady, I'm gonna put in all of my money." And then that guy foolishly puts in all of his money and gets the pretty lady, but then, oh my gosh, Spartacus shows up. And then someone's like, "I'm gonna take that Spartacus for like 1 cent." And then everybody's really annoyed that that guy has a cool helmet and Spartacus. But they're like, "It's okay. The next guy is gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna get him for 0 money." And then it ends up being that guy with doo-doo on his head. However, you are not done after that. You also have to bid to become the host of the next games. So you do your normal bidding, and this guy is going to take the host. Being the host is actually pretty important because, one, you just get a point automatically, and points are far and few in between. So just getting that host, you really want to get it. So then the host, he gets to invite people to come to his cool gladiator game. And he's like, "Hey, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose Barry over there to, bring their gladiator in." And he's like, "I have Spartacus with cool helmets." Oh, yeah. Cool helmet.
Hey, everybody, check it out. I got a cool helmet.
And then he's like, "Hey, Steve, remember that one time you messed me up and took my money? Well, you're going to be player 2. And Steve's like, "I have this guy with poop on his head and no weapons." And those are the 2 contestants that are going to fight in today's game. Now, let's say you have any gladiators that you brought into the arena and they have favor. So let's say Spartacus won 2 gladiator events and then has 2 favor. That Dominus would get 4 coins. All right, so at this portion of the 4th phase, you have these 4 corners, and basically they represent different wagers you're going to bet. Now, the far 2 corners, you have 1 and 2. Those 1s and 2 basically represent the Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2. And then you also have Decapitation and Injury, which is applied at the end of the bout. So basically, players are going to put 1, 2, 3 coins at most in each corner, but they cannot gamble against their own gladiator. So this guy is like, "Okay, Spartacus, my gladiator, is definitely going to win. I think he's definitely going to decapitate the guy with doo-doo on his head. And you know what? Maybe there's a small chance he'll get injured and not decapitated." And then the other guy's like, "Yeah, I'm all for that." And he basically does the same thing. So 3 there, 2 there. And then this guy's like, "I don't really think my guy's going to do well. But you know what? I know somebody's going to get decapitated. Probably going to be the guy doo-doo on his head. So I'm going to put my thing there and knock all of your things on accident." Each gladiator is going to get dice equal to that number. Now, these dice are going to act as health points. Now these two are going to fight to the bitter end. Now we have stats. We have 4 attack, 4 defense, and 4 speed on Spartacus. This guy has a measly 2 attack, 2 defense, but 3 speed. Now, how it works is each turn you're gonna roll to see who goes first that turn. So I'm gonna roll 4 speed dice for Spartacus, and the other player is going to roll 3 for Doo-Doo Head. And then you're going to total them. So obviously, Spartacus over here is going to go first. Now, since Spartacus has 4 speed, Spartacus can move up to 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, guy with doo-doo on his face, he's going to move forward and then attack. So this gladiator, he's got 2 attack, and Spartacus has 4 defense. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a roll, and then we're going to roll the blue. Then we're going to line them up. So see how we have the defense lined up in numeric order and the attack in numeric order. We're going to clash those dice together. So 6 beats 5, and 5 beats 2. So Spartacus is not going to take any damage. Moreover, he's got a cool helmet, so he could have even re-rolled one of these and got a worse roll, but that's still an option for him. Cool helmet. All right, now we're gonna do initiative one more time. Okay, Spartacus is the winner again because he's Spartacus. Spartacus is gonna opt to go first this time. So, Spartacus is going to give it his all. 4 attack die versus 2 defense. Apologies, I used blue, but defense is black. Basically, we're going to roll and roll. Then we're going to line them up in numeric order again. All right, so Spartacus clearly did better than 4, better than 1, and better than 2 zeros because there are no dice there. And let's say there was a tie. Say it was 1 versus 1. Defender would win that tie. But that's not what happened. What happened was Spartacus did 4 damage. Well, not quite. You have to roll a higher than a 2 to damage if they don't have a dice. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll just say 4 damage was done. Well, since this guy will be taking 4 damage, basically he's going to lose 4 dice, which puts him in a very bad situation. Now, no dice can go below 1, meaning you can't have 0 speed. Once you lose enough dice to where that's an impossible choice, things start happening. Here's what can happen. Let's say Spartacus did enough damage to bring this guy down to 2. Now, basically Spartacus has this gladiator held by sword point and is awaiting orders from the Dominus to execute said gladiator. If there was only 1 remaining, then that is the same scenario. However, in addition to being held at sword point, that gladiator is wounded and cannot get back into the arena until that injury is gone. Finally, if that gladiator has no dice left, that gladiator is simply decapitated, and that gladiator is just dead. So we're gonna go ahead and say that this gladiator was decapitated, and that's the result of the match. Decapitated.
No, not Doo-Doo Face. You know, he had a real name, a beautiful name. His name was Gosh. You know that name that everybody blames because they don't want to say God's name in vain? That was him. And no one gave him a chance. But he was beautiful, even with doo-doo on his face.
So these players would double these funds, so they would get their coins back plus 3 more. And because there was a decapitation of any of the contestants, these players would all triple their money here, and it'll go to their treasury. Furthermore, the winner of the match is going to gain 1 influence. And let's say this happened. When a gladiator is dead as a champion, that Dominus is going to lose 1 point for losing their champion. But when you get another champion again, you are going to gain a point. Now, this game is so fun, like unbelievably fun. But what's great about it is you have this sliding point system. And throughout the game, the other players are going to actually have very close points to you. And so it kind of makes it feel like you're neck and neck throughout the whole game. And that's just amazing that, you know, this game can pull that off. Not only that, but there can only be one winner. So if you're both at 12 points, you're gonna have to fight it out at the end with your gladiators. So yeah, this is a good game. It's very loud. There's lots of bargaining. You're going to, you know, be talking amongst the table what you're gonna do throughout the game. It's great, truly. Thank you for having words with me. This is my whimsical review of Spartacus, a game of blood and treachery. Bye. Well, now that you've seen my video, why don't you like and subscribe below, or even better, leave a comment about how cool you think my sword is. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you can, check out my board game, Ever Aegis. It is a social deduction card game with strategic war elements where you're going to have a cutthroat competition against your friends. Now, if you're interested in purchasing Ever Aegis, you can get the prototype currently on my website at mowindsorgames.com or meepleofwindsorgames.com. You can support my Indiegogo page in the link below. Bye.
Get your copy now at meepleofwindsorgames.com.